And that's why I don't like cricket.
Hello, welcome to the mouth of Manliness. I am very croaky today as I've got a cold. But we are carrying on regardless. I am Nicholas Noyes, and
Hi.
this here is Bradley Action.
Hi, hello.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, interesting few weeks, I think, really. With all the fucking Christmas bullshit going on, we're gonna talk about Christmas because
it is Christmas. Well, hang on, it's December.
Yep.
And I'm reluctantly going to talk about Christmas today because Christmas starts in August now, as we all know, because of the machine. That last day in August, and people love it, which is nice. But I don't think like all the adverts and stuff for Christmas just start until December.
Right, I feel like I could really flesh Christmas out, and I saw my mate Stuart Turner last week. I had a deal with him on a Friday, and he was like, "You got to talk about Christmas." Like he's got mental health problems, and like that's why we get on really. Yeah, and he was saying you got to talk about Christmas, so I really want to dig into Christmas. So today on Release Land will be the 11th of December. Today, the actual day is, what is it? It's like the 27th of November.
In any other land, it'd be weird that we're talking about Christmas, but we're not, because as I said, all the adverts are still on anyway.
Yes. So let's start off.
I've got a couple of shout-outs before we get to...
Be organised. Stick to the format.
First... Well, not first, because it's not in any particular order, because we love everyone. But I want to say hello to my mate, Mark Webb, who's an old family friend. Well, he's not old. I've known him for a long time. I've known him since he was a baby. And
since he was a baby, is he younger or older?
He's younger than me.
Okay.
And he messaged me today and sent me a link to his company's website, like web thing. And they've been appointing mental health first aiders, which I'd seen. I did a bit of work at Imperial College London and at UCL as well. And if someone wears a certain lanyard of a certain colour, you can go over to them and talk about your anything really, and they're kind of trained to listen basically, and things to listen out for, and not necessarily offer advice, but might be able to point you in the right direction of like Samaritans or whatever. Mark's basically become a mental health first aider, and as a result of listening to us.
Oh, really?
And they've rolled it out across the company. And in the last couple of weeks alone, he's had like 6 guys coming into his office basically crying and opening up and talking about their feelings and stuff like that. And as a result, Mark's going to become a better manager, and they're going to be happier in the workplace, and people will be working more efficiently, and everyone's just going to be a little bit more happier. So
thanks to the mouth of Manliness.
That's a bit cool, isn't it?
Well, it's not. It's not thanks to us.
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
Thanks to
just awareness.
Yeah, thanks to people being more aware, really.
Also, Lee Brown, I don't know whether you see the emails. So last week was International Men's Health Day awareness thing. I think there's one of them every week, but this was like worldwide thing. And as part of that, he has put our podcast and I think Rich Wilson's podcast at the bottom of his email address across all of the people in his company. So there's about 800 people in his company. So every time they send an email, we're at the bottom of it. And I think that's still happening and has been ongoing like for a few weeks now. But they're also, on that actual day last week, they were playing our podcast in the background of the office and they had cakes and stuff like that. And it was basically encouraging people to listen to our podcast and Rich Wilson's podcast, which is also about mental health. So how cool is that?
That is very cool.
Like people are kind of like...
little things that happen. It's just weird. You put together this little podcast to talk about your feelings. And these really nice things happen as a result. Thank you if you're listening.
Sam McMaster invited us to... I know I was supposed to go to a mental health conference last Monday, but I didn't go. So apologies to that one. There's also another one that we can't go to that we have been invited to. I can't remember the date of that. But we're booked. I had something in the calendar anyway. I think you were booked up. But I just wanted to give a shout out, say thank you. She's going to go and she's going to basically give us a shout out, and anyone who might be interested in coming on, they're going to put our way and stuff like that. It's the Essex mental health thing. I should have researched these a bit more. Sorry.
It's a shame because Brad and I obviously have to earn money for our children.
Yeah.
So we can't do everything, and often these things are like in the daytime or even at a weekend. It can be just as hard because you feel like you've got to look after your kids and
not spend time with them. Always stuff happening, isn't there? Dave from Mates, his episode came out last week. Thought I'd give him a little shout out. I was thinking I'd like to go to one of his pub nights.
Yeah, we should
go. And go along to that. Todd from here, Boston.
Yeah, Todd.
With his news, I don't know whether we're gonna talk about the news or not. We'll wait until...
Yeah, we'll wait until something happens. But we did have some news from our friend Todd in here, Boston, and he is a proper diamond, lovely man. Yeah, I'm sure he'll hear that. So,
everyone at Manual and Men of Manual, they've been resharing our bits and bobs and stuff like that, and giving us loads of support.
I don't know when they're going to put our video up.
Well, I get the feeling because. But we were like talking for ages and we were messing about as well. And when you look at the other videos, the guys are quite sort of relaxed and just talking about their things. So I'm guessing...
we did do quite a bit of that, but I think
their one was a bit more...
two of us.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I like to think it's so good that they want to get it perfect.
They want to do something special. Yeah.
Everyone that is in the band Hilo and Ray Gun Effects, because...
Steve, Lee I've known forever.
Yeah. They've been messaging after like what happened to me like a few weeks ago, like every other day almost, and checking in and stuff like that. Yeah, which I thought was really nice.
That's really lovely.
And I've been listening to that album non-stop for like 3 days. It's great. The new album's out now on iTunes. You can buy it on vinyl as well. Really cool blue vinyl. And I'm going to add some of their bits to the playlist. I need to speak to them and see if they've got any particular tracks that they want. And I've also sent that out to like Eddie Temple Morris and a few other DJs, and that's hopefully they get some radio play as well. I'm also going to add Ginger from the Wild Hearts to our playlist. And I need to ask Dave if he wants any tracks on the playlist. My mate Adam, who we're having on in January, he is a practicing nurse in the NHS up in Camden, and he listens to every episode, and he's messaged me like every day this week, so thanks for looking after me, brother. Our wives, obviously, for being amazing. You for checking in on me nearly every day. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. It's been nice getting the messages and that. I know I don't always answer them back straight away, but I appreciate them and everyone else around the world. I had literally, when I put that thing on last week about the little wobble that I had, I've collectively across Twitter, Facebook and Instagram had like nearly 600 messages.
Have you really? Yeah. That fucking hell, it's amazing.
Little notes and messages.
Doesn't it make you feel like...
Unreal, mate.
Like, makes you feel like... not only does it make you feel good, it makes you feel like you're worth it.
Valid, yeah. And like messages from people from school saying like, we like never knew you kind of felt this way, like really looked up to you and you're always like different from everyone else in kind of a cool way, and people aspire to be like. So I was like, what me? Like, why didn't anyone fucking tell me then? Like, why am I finding this out now? It's crazy. Like, I can't, and I didn't want to sound like a cunt, like blowing my smoke up my own arse or whatever just then, but like it's mad, really, that
That's really
they're saying it all.
lovely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So thank you to everyone for your support
Yeah,
and
thank you
your
for
words.
supporting, Brad. I think,
It's
like,
amazing.
well, it really, really helps.
Yeah, it does.
So I wanted to thank our patrons, Ellie, Simon the Tramp Man, who I've been talking to today. I just seem to talk to most days. Austin, and oh fuck, that's really bad.
What was it? The latest one?
There was another one. But I want to thank our patrons.
Yes.
I've sent artwork to a few people as a thank you, and
Oh,
I
that's
will
lovely,
do to
man.
the
I'm
other
glad that you
guys
do
as
that.
well.
That's really cool that you do that.
Artwork's been going pretty amazingly at the moment. I've sold quite a few. I've got a PR agent.
And your
Shib, who
website.
I
We've
say
spoken
hello
about your
to.
website.
Eh?
We've spoken about your website.
Yeah, I've got a website, www.lovelessart.co.uk. And I sell artwork on there, and we're going to have a sale. By now, the sale would have started. We're going to do a little sale to try to shift some more, really.
Is that a Christmas sale?
Yeah, Christmas
Oh,
sale.
cool.
I did one for the singer from Embrace. Did I tell you about that? I'm a big
You
fan of Embrace.
told me, but you might not have told them.
Yeah, so I did one for the singer from Embrace, and I love all their stuff, but particularly their first album.
Do you know what I love about Embrace is someone bought me the Radio 1 Live Lounge album, and they do a cover of an Eminem song on there, and they
Do
did it
they?
in they did it. I'm sure it's Embrace.
They
And
used to do Magic Number.
yeah, probably, but yeah, they. Oh no, is it Eminem? Yeah, it is. How Come? I think it's called. And yeah, it really got me. Like, it's really, really cool.
Oh,
It was
really?
completely different, but the way they did it was really nice. And yeah, I like their music also.
Simon Newby.
Oh, of
Thank you
course.
to you too. Of course.
My mate Simon.
Yeah, thank you all for pledging to us and helping us pay for our website and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out to Mark Watts as well. I spoke to yesterday. He was really encouraging
I
and
love Mark.
put us in touch with someone, another guest. We've got loads of guests lined up till April. Have you booked all those people?
No, so we're booked officially up to April.
Yeah, are they all booked in though?
Yeah, they're all
Oh, they
booked
are
in.
booked in,
April's all booked in, but then I've got another 8 or 9, I think, that I just need to get round to just sending dates to. And
Okay, yeah, we've got to make sure
confirm
we
them.
put Kirsty Eaton on it. 'Cause she's asked
Yeah,
us to-
Kirsty, Melanie. I think I've got a date for Melanie. Kirsty's one of them. My mate Aaron from school. My mate Darren, who was in Game of Thrones. He's got some other
really?
disability stuff and that going
Game
on.
of Thrones?
Well, yeah, he was in a film called Blood Drive. He's been in a few different things. He's lovely. There's a whole list. Adam, oh no, I've booked Adam. He's coming in January.
I saw Chris who does our t-shirts on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
And we had a couple of pints, and he's such a nice man, but so is his Mrs. Arena. So shout out to them. They're doing us a bunch of new t-shirts. Like I've got about 5 different designs. So they're working on them now. So there'll be
Sweet.
some like back prints with small front prints and all of that. So they'll be up. They'll probably be out by the time this comes out. So have a
Oh,
look.
that's cool. Excellent Christmas presents for
Yes.
you, your family, your
Excellent
friends, and your
Christmas
co-workers.
Yeah, all like my original artwork on it. So shout out's done. So Christmas. I flew in. I came home from holiday a couple of weeks ago, and I flew into Christmas. Like before I went, there wasn't really any Christmas.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the TV or anything.
No.
And then I got off the plane, and like there's Christmas shit up at Stansted, and like the weather was almost Christmassy.
Yeah.
And then there's Christmas all over the TV and all over radio, everything.
Yeah.
Quite like the new Noel Gallagher song.
Yeah.
Quite a nice Christmas song, and I'm shocked that he's thrown his hat in the ring to do that. Death from Guitar Pop.
Yes.
They've got their charity Christmas single out. Feeling like a right James Blunt at Christmas.
It's like £1 or whatever. Buy
Yeah.
it, because if they go
the
to number
money
one,
goes
that's
to
going to
Calm.
be
And it's
amazing.
doing really, really well.
So currently,
they've had like 1 million.
Yeah, 1 million views on YouTube, and currently they are number one in the Amazon music chart.
It's crazy.
It's so cool. It's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe
And have you
it.
seen the video as well? It's super
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. It's
proper
like a
funny.
parody of every Christmas
Yeah, it's
song.
got everything in
really,
it. So
really
it can't
funny.
lose, really, because
No.
it's like all of them in one.
So I'm just blown away by that. Doing so well, and such a good charity. I've been sharing it.
Yeah, and they're lovely too.
Yeah, they are lovely. So Christmas, I've already started feeling the Christmas blues. Like, totally. I really have. It's hit me, like, especially... I was meant to meet my family for, like, dinner at a garden centre because my nan likes it there. And there was Christmas shit everywhere. And I was instantly like, I can't fucking deal with this. Christmas makes me so miserable. I've kind of gradually learnt to be a little less miserable about it. But it really, really gets me. And I think it gets a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I almost think, I wish they wouldn't fucking hype. The thing is, by putting Christmas on, by hyping it up so early, and it's just for sales.
Yeah.
By getting into it so early, it really makes that period really fucking hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
Because I think what it does, Christmas really triggers memories. So for a lot of people, it will trigger really lovely memories. But for some people, it will trigger their worst memories. Because if you're having, say if your family's, if your dad's being violent on Christmas Day, all that's going through your head is, I bet I'm the only person who's having violence on Christmas Day.
Yeah, of course.
And it magnifies it, makes it so much bigger and worse. And I almost feel like it's a bit irresponsible about the way they push Christmas so much.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't need to happen because it is just purely to sell stuff to people who can't afford it most of the time.
And the thing is, people can still get into it early if they want to, but like just it doesn't need to be sort of splashed everywhere as much as it is.
Yeah, I find it a hugely painful Christmas, and it makes me feel really. Then I feel like it makes me really sad. But then, in the same respect, then I get full of guilt as well because I'm like, I should be like enjoying it because my kids and that are. So it's just fucking awful.
Yeah, there's no should though. Like you don't have to.
I know there's no should, but you're
forced
giving
to.
images constantly.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Of lovely Christmases, and then that's just extra inflated by social media.
Yeah.
And it's like. For some people, that's really fucking hard. And I'm one of them. Like, fucking Christmas.
For the last couple of years, I've adopted the stance of Chevy Chase from Christmas Vacation because, like, work stuff and I've just been miserable. And
which is?
It just, like... Is everything like the whole world's on top of him, and like he's running around doing stuff for everyone else and everything else, and like waiting for that Christmas bonus that never comes.
Yeah.
And it always seems like the last day of work for maybe the last 8 years, where I've been trying to rush it and get back, and especially if it's like Christmas Eve, I'm working Christmas Eve or like the day before Christmas Eve or whatever. It's always shit. I always end up having an argument with someone, and it's always been crap. And obviously, I'm signed off now, so it'll be different this year. But then also, we haven't got any money, so we don't really know how it's going to be. But I'm looking forward to it purely because Olive she'll be 2 the day after Christmas, and she's just into everything. So that excitement's going to be there with her kind of thing. And Buddy's still excited still, even though he's already like a 45-year-old man. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be one of those Christmases where it is going to be about like spending time with people and the food and everything else kind of thing, which should be nice.
I shouldn't say it, but I find it quite hard seeing my family even.
Yeah.
I find it quite hard seeing my family a lot of the time anyway. Because it just evokes so many negative emotions in me. So I actually find that element of it really hard. Christmas Day, nowadays, since having kids, we tend to always have it here, so I can at least busy myself with cooking, because I like cooking. I kind of find quite cathartic.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So I just get into that, and then the kids open their presents and everything's cool. And actually, it's all right having Sarah's mum over, but Sarah's mum and brother aren't getting on, so then that's another awkwardness.
Yeah.
And then the next day I have to go and pretend in front of all my family. I just find it such a fucking nightmare. And it is like trying to figure out when I'm going to see my dad, and does he really, and I think he does care enough, but I get this thing when I'm like, he don't care anyway. And so I just play over all this stuff in my mind that's probably not really true.
Yeah.
But Christmas just seems to magnify everything so much. Like, I was talking about it at like a psychotherapy group the other day, just saying like, it's fucking started. But I almost feel like sometimes by saying, "Oh, it's started," I'm making those bad feelings happen. I should just
you've started.
Yeah. No, I kind of recognise that in myself, and I recognise that I'm normally miserable at Christmas. That doesn't mean I have to be miserable at Christmas, just because I normally am. And that's the thing. I think we get into patterns, where we assume, well, that's what we normally do, so that's what it will be like now.
The thing is, it's everything.
Not necessarily right.
No, it's everything that your mum and dad have done, and their mum and dad have done, and their mum and dad have done. And those traditions, like, if they're making you unhappy, then change them. So this year, controversial, I know, but for Christmas dinner, we're gonna have pizza.
Because you can't be asked to cook.
No, I love cooking, but kids love pizza. We love pizza, and we don't want to be stuck in the kitchen all day. We'd rather just spend time with them playing with their toys and stuff like that. And we're going to do that. I might put some Brussels sprouts on it.
See, I just make a pretty standard roast dinner anyway. I don't eat veg.
That's the thing. It is just a roast dinner, and like the pressure that's put on it, and like there's been times when
I don't feel the pressure on cooking. I find like really easy. I don't feel pressure.
There's been times
I was a
when we
chef for 6 years. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. But it's when like. Not so much now, but when me and Kate were first together and some of the relatives would come over and it'd be like, oh, you have to have this with it and you have to have that with it and these have to be cooked in a certain way and if it hasn't got this then that's not right sort of thing. There's been a few tears shed over like the food and stuff like that. But it's more like that's the worry of wanting to get it right, and that worry is the worry of wanting to impress your mum and dad or impress your nan and stuff like that. And that's the foundation and the basis for all of our behaviour, I think, is that kind of...
It's funny...
wanting to get it right.
Yeah, and that kind of... Those politics all kind of come together at Christmas.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of the year, like, there's not really any expectation particularly, or not in that same way.
Yeah.
That's very true. Like, I kind of... I think when my parents split up, Christmas was fucked. And basically, like, what I was like 21. No, I was 20, and that was it then. And then ever since then, my family's fractured out so much that almost when we do see each other, everyone's got little resentments going on. I felt a little bit resentful to some of my family because. They've not necessarily been that supportive of this, and you'd think, and I'm like, come on, I've just been on the news.
Yeah,
like it'd be nice to get a message to say, wow, well done.
Yeah,
But so now I feel that at the moment, those things are going through my head. So I'm seeing my family, but actually I'm fucking angry with them.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to say anything.
No.
So what's the point in getting
The thing
angry?
is, that won't be in the forefront of their minds. They'll be thinking about fucking Brussels sprouts and presents and stuff like that and everything else. And not that your feelings aren't valid, I'm just saying.
No.
I do exactly the same. I walk around with all this stuff and then it's only when you, like normally once the day's over and you think, oh, actually that weren't too bad. You know what I mean? I've had a few drinks and had a couple of laughs or whatever and it's all been kind of okay. But I still think you're a cunt.
I'm itching for everyone to go. So then I can drink wine and watch a film. Yeah, that's kind of like that's what I like. That's what I
love sitting in front of the telly at Christmas.
And I normally, so like Sarah doesn't really want to put the telly on, and so it's always a bit like, oh, fucking can't we just put the telly on so I can just kind of zone out. I need to zone out, because I just need to do it because I actually find it all quite upsetting. Do
you play games at Christmas?
We haven't like they do. Sarah's brother's really competitive. So like if someone's really competitive, I generally won't even bother to compete.
Nah.
I'll go, I'm not fucking interested.
That makes me want to fuck it up.
And I'll rise
like
above it so far that I'm just sitting there with disdain on my face, which is just stupid. But it's funny what you say. What you say is so completely right. Is that everything that is I'm putting it all onto it all.
Yeah.
Most of it's not true. It's like
No.
I've decided that Christmas is really hard.
Yeah.
And I've got reasons to say it is, but I can choose whether I engage with it or not.
The thing is, it's upholded because people are coming into your realm. You're going into other people's realms where their traditions from their mum and dad and their mum and dad and their mum and dad and their mum and dad are upheld. So it's always going to be fucked.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's your day. It's your Christmas.
That's why I don't mind Christmas Day so much. Because Christmas Day, because it's here, and Sarah's mum comes around, she lives over the road. I'm really like, she really don't bother me in the least.
Yeah.
And she's always really, really complimentary that I've put effort in and that.
Oh, cool.
But you're totally right. It's just me putting my own shit onto it. But I think what it is, most of all, is that I think most people have some nice memories around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your best memories because it's Christmas and like you can link everything to that date. So even though some of it's probably not even true, but you still somehow have good memories of those days.
Are you saying because collectively everyone on the planet, it feels like, is doing the same thing, same day, and has done for the whole of their lives for all of eternity,
and
or
everyone
last
collectively
however many
could
years?
be like free and remember their first Christmas when it was a massive pile of toys and you get all your Star Wars and shit. Like most people can have got that. So when life moves on and you don't have that, because life does move on and you don't have that anyway. Even if your parents don't split up.
Yeah.
Like I remember like getting into my teens and being a bit like, oh, it's Christmas Day, I'm fucking bored now.
Yeah.
And like, I never used to remember being bored.
No.
And it's like, oh, I'm bored. And like feeling a bit flat about that. But, that all plays into my fucking ridiculous mind. But you hit on something there. I don't know what it was, but you did hit on it. Just basically saying that you don't, like you give it that way, which I say all the time.
Yeah, but like everyone does to a degree, not to belittle what you're saying, but like I think it's important to remember that it is your day, and like obviously respect everyone else and say, oh yeah, like we'll do this and we'll do that kind of thing, but I also want to do what I'm doing. Like you don't have to have all the Christmas dinner. You don't have to have any Christmas whatsoever. You could have like Star Wars Day.
Yeah, I always kind of, you know what? But the thing is, I do this, and it's one of the things about myself that I dislike the most is that I almost, I think, yeah, it's my day. Why am I spending the whole day running around and making my kids happy when I'm like, it's my day as well, and that's why I like it when it gets later and they go upstairs.
Yeah.
Which is really shit. Which I think most people wouldn't admit to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say just kids, but it's like the whole thing,
I'm just running around after my kids. I could be doing this anywhere. Like I'm not really getting anything out of this.
Yeah.
But
I think as they get older, that obviously becomes easier, I guess.
It is easier.
Because I feel like that constantly. Like this, even though I've had a really busy week, I've also been busy having their weeks as well. Yeah. So everything I do has got like 11 other things attached to it. So I can't just like be indoors. I've got to do this, do that and everything, which I don't mind. But a lot of my stuff kind of gets parked towards the back, and I'm finding I have to like do it late at night, early in the morning, or I'm leaving a lot of stuff. I'm forgetting a lot of things and stuff like that. But to be fair, it's only now that I'm talking a lot more about it at home that they're like, oh, actually, no, I didn't realise that. Right, okay, what we can do, change that around. You have this couple of hours, you do that, and then I'm doing the same. And it's just talking about it, and don't be so resentful about it.
I mean,
it's not easy.
Me and my wife do that to quite a big extent, really. Like, I think you're having a hard time. Right, well, then you go and have some space while I do. I'll take over for a bit and that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to get past the Christmas thing though, because I just kind of like I think all any resentment I got from my dad seems to really flare up at Christmas, and I just think why I've kind of been able to push all that away in many ways, but then it's like oh no, but it's Christmas, and then everything starts coming back at me like double, twice as hard.
Because it's feelings, and it's like not necessarily like a practical thing, but like it's felt,
Yeah.
and it's like a natural force that sometimes it takes you unaware, doesn't it? And it's like, oh, why am I feeling like that? And it's like, oh yeah, it's because of this or because of that or whatever, or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can normally kind of work things out, but I'm almost thinking, oh fucking hell, I'm like, I could go to the shrink next week and I'm like, do I need to up my meds? And I think in reality, I probably don't. In reality, like I'm doing surprisingly well, but then I don't know, I have these down days. I think I'm not very happy at work at the moment, and that makes me feel generally miserable. But
the thing is, if you're not happy at work and this is a bit of a shit time of year for you anyway, then it's just a bit of it's just shit.
yeah, I suppose just accepting it's a bit shit sometimes. Yeah, that's just what it is, and Christmas is a bit like that. But I'd like to be able to move past it. I went out for a drink with Peter, the psychotherapist.
Oh yeah, how'd you get on with that?
He's well up for coming on again.
Brilliant.
He'd like to do questions, somehow do like questions and answers thing.
We could do a live Facebook live thing.
Could we do that and still do the podcast at the same
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Because I'd really like to do that.
Yeah. I'll do it on your phone, like Facebook Live on your phone and the Mouth of Manliness group. People can come on there and ask questions.
We'd have to really shout about it because I don't want to do it and then no one ask any questions.
Yeah, because technically it'd be a random Thursday night, but yeah, we'll build up to it and hype
I'd
it.
like to do that.
That's a great idea.
But it was really interesting because like we chatted loads and loads and loads and loads, so I got to know a lot more about him. I'm not going to talk about it on here because he's still got a job. But like you think it was funny because he was going, oh yeah, well, I've had some difficult times, and I was like, yeah, of course you have. You don't do jobs like this.
No.
If you don't have a difficult time and see a need to do it.
Yeah, you don't have a great life, then all of a sudden turn around and go, right, I'm just going to start
That's
having
why
other people.
Dave from Mates is surprising. But then he has had basically a traumatic experience.
Yeah, he's still at it. Yeah, that is exactly it.
So that kind of led him to doing what he was doing.
He was quite sort of separate about it, I thought. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but it was quite sort of like, I don't consider myself to have mental health problems, but this has happened to me, that's happened to me, and that's happened to me. But maybe he's saying that because he's heard so many stories from so many others, and he's kind of put everything into perspective kind of thing.
Yeah, but you do that to some extent.
I do. I normalise stuff, yeah.
Like, I'm all right, because basically I'm not as bad as the man in the gutter.
Yeah, that's true. And I think like a lot of other people's dads die and kids die and stuff like that.
So what was Christmas like for you then? Because you must have had some fucking awful Christmases.
I don't know. I've always been lucky with Christmas. So my granddad on my mum's side always spoilt us. And basically his whole life was devoted to spoiling us. So we'd have Christmas at home and then we'd go around there and it would just be stacked full of presents. And like my granddad was just
So he almost rescued Christmas.
Yeah, and it was like they were always there at that house. It's been quite upsetting because my nan's just moved out of that house, but that Christmas was always there. And my memory of Christmas was it was 2 weeks long. I never saw anyone else, like another human being.
I had memories of Christmas like that.
And it would weird me out that other people were outside their houses to the point that I must have been about maybe, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that. And we all went out for Christmas dinner down at Mum's in Wickford. And I thought, oh, this would be empty. Like, just be us there. It might be quite nice, something different. And it was fucking packed with everyone from school. And I was like, what? Why are you all here? And they're like, oh, well, we do this every year. And I was like, what? Like, really, it freaked me out. Yeah, really, it freaked me the hell out. I couldn't get my head around it. I was like, what? People go out at Christmas? And that was like part of my kind of awakening with it all, really. And like, realizing that people they make it doesn't have to be the traditions and everything else, they make it their own kind of thing. But I got nice memories and like nice photos of like obviously my dad and that around there. He used to like one of the Christmases, they had like a hanky in the crackers, and he wore it on his head like for the whole week or 2 weeks or whatever, and all the joking and mucking around and stuff like that. It was nice, and then once they split up, it was kind of okay because we then had 3 Christmases, so it was good for a kid if you wanted toys and stuff like that. But then it kind of, I think, like you say, because it around like the teen years, it kind of it's all different and weird and shit anyway. So it's kind of like hard to sort of pinpoint anything in particular. But yeah, there was like times, probably like a few years in a row, that I knew my dad was on his own, which was quite odd, like later in life. But he had sort of friends around him. But I always remember kind of having that guilt of like, if I was at my dad's, I weren't with my mum. If I was at my mum's, I wasn't with my dad.
Yeah.
If I didn't see my granddad and my nan, and there's that kind of guilt thing with it. He's dead now, so I haven't got that. And so is my granddad, so it makes it a lot easier because I just go and see my mum. But it's kind of like, again, it ties into that tradition thing. And it's almost like attachment to traditions can cause the upset. And I kind of consider myself quite lucky that I'm kind of free of that.
Yeah.
And now we're at the stage where we can design our own Christmas. We can have it how we want. And like last couple of Christmases, like I remember when I was a kid, and like we had like plastic trees and stuff like that. And when we moved into where we were, like where we are now, sorry, I was just like, I want a real tree. I want the biggest real tree I can get. Like proper ego, obnoxious. Like I just want the biggest tree. I've never been able to do it. This year we're going to do it. And it's only obviously thanks to credit card, and that's why I'm 60 grand worth in debt. But so yeah, last 2 years, there's a guy basically at the end of our road that sells them, and our ceilings are quite high, and it's literally floor to ceiling, all tree. Like I had to cut a bit off the top of it. I expected a squirrel to jump out of it. I was really lucky. But what's nice is we've done all of that, and like we've spoilt Buddy like the last couple of years, and I think because we can't this year, we've been sort of humbled with everything like the last few weeks. I'm looking forward to it being like, it almost feels like it's going to be more authentic this time round because it's a bit more of a humble Christmas kind of thing.
It's also quite nice that you're not having to rush to work and that as well.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Well, that makes a difference. Last Christmas, I was doing like half hours.
I'm trying to think, was we weren't doing this last
No,
Christmas,
we started stuff around my birthday.
I feel like we were talking around Christmas though.
Yeah.
Did I have my tattoos around Christmas?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Over Christmas, I think.
I like the fact that almost like letting go of the traditions. There's a really good bit of advice in there. Like almost letting go of the traditions and like forming your own. Quite often, I think when you get your own family, you kind of end up establishing your own traditions anyway.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to hurt them in any way, so you want to kind of adhere to them. Like it might even be weird that you've got like a Kurt Cobain fairy on your tree rather than a normal fairy, but like fuck it. Like, what's the fairy mean anyway? Just have what you want on your tree. You don't have a tree.
I made one, and then the kids take it in turns, put it on the top, and then we all sing our Christmas tree.
Ah, I love that. That's cool.
Which is really stupid, but yeah, you do get your own traditions.
No, but I like that though. That's nice, and I like when little moments like that happen because I cry a lot around Christmas time, and I like that. Like I like that feeling of like. I think a lot of the times that I've been angry on the last day of Christmas is because it hasn't been snowing and the Pogues hasn't been playing, and I'm not doing that walk back kind of thing. But I remember once I was a supervisor in Sloane. Yeah. How much is this, mate? 99p. In Sloane Square, and I got laid off that day. I got fired, and I didn't like the job anyway.
What day?
Christmas Eve. And I walked outside and it was snowing. And as I walked down towards the tube station, there was a brass band playing, and I just burst into tears. I was like, "This is the loveliest thing ever." This is like, I was so like welled up. It's like it's like a film.
I'll tell you what. I remember. I always say it's the worst year of my life when I was working at Costco, and I had no fucking money. Like, basically, I did have money, but any money I had, I was spending on alcohol because I was trying to hide my pain. And but I had no other money, and I was working all over Christmas because they suddenly gave me hours, and uh, they'd have all the Christmas songs on, and I'd be working on the till, and all these families would be coming through, buying loads and loads of presents, loads of booze and lovely stuff, you know, all the nice things for Christmas. And I was basically probably going to my mum's on Christmas Day, and that was always really awkward. And my nan was there, and she was always really horrible to me. But all these people were really, really happy, and I was always like steaming hungover, never really slept, and I was constantly just standing on the till for 8 hours a day fighting back tears. I'll never forget that. And then they gave us as our Christmas present was like a £20 voucher that you could spend in the store.
Wow.
And that year I had to go to my mum and say, I've got no money. I can't buy anyone any presents. I've got nothing. And then basically she cobbled together presents for me to give to my family.
Oh, that's nice.
Like my mum, as ever, you know, is my saviour. And they gave me this voucher, and my nephews were really, really young at the time. Like my sister's got twins. They're not twins. They don't look like twins, but they're twins. And you know, obviously, like I loved them, and I still love them. And so I was going to spend my voucher on presents for them, and I fucking lost it.
Oh no!
And I was so upset about it, and I was just going up there going, I've lost it. Can I get another one? Is there any way? And it was like, it had my name on it. So it's like no one else could use it.
No.
And they're like, no.
What the hell?
I'm like, come on. I've got nothing. And I was just going to get something for my nephews, like these two teddies. And they wouldn't let me do it. And it was so awful.
That's the saddest thing. So a couple of points. 20 quid.
Yeah.
That's fuck all. Like 50, 100, you know what I mean? Christmas. They're a massive fucking company. And secondly, it's just a bit of paper. They can just print you off another one.
Yeah.
Or just why don't they just go, no, go and get the teddies and I'll sort it out for you now. Who were you working for? Fucking Hitler?
Costco. I hated working at Costco. And that was the worst Christmas. And the presents I gave were really, really shit. And I remember like a few years prior to that, I'd become kitchen manager where I was working. And I got paid a bit more money, and I got a little bit of a Christmas bonus, like maybe 100 quid. And I basically spent it all on presents for my family, and this was just such a fucking come down. It was like, oh man, like, it's not gonna get any worse than this. But in fairness, it never has got any worse than that.
Yeah, it's
like,
good for
that year was the impetus for me changing. And yeah, I haven't really gone back.
Christmas is good for that though, like for reflection, probably because it's mirrored in previous years, and we think, I don't really want it to be like this or like that kind of thing, or as long as it ain't as bad as that.
Like New Year as well.
Yeah.
So it does become a period of reflection. If you're quite, if your reflection is quite negative and like kind of quite. Like inward, like you're like inwardly negative, then that reflection, in essence, is probably the thing that makes it so hard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas if you can flip it on its head, like I just did then. Like I was saying, everything's shit. That was really shit. But actually, it's never been better.
No.
So you can turn that around. It's just how you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in essence that's what I do.
Yeah.
But shit, I do this all the time. I talk myself around.
But that's good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
That's what we're trying to encourage people to do. Do you know what I saw today? Is there's a pub in London that's opening its doors on Christmas Day for people who are on their own on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I thought that's really, really cool. And like the worst it can get is obviously you'll be on your own. But if there's places like that and things like that happening, and I get the feeling that things are happening like that more and more and more.
Yeah, there's quite a few pubs doing that.
Like if you can, again, it goes back to like it's not easy and like there ain't any money around sort of thing. But like no one should be on their own at Christmas, and like go and find something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because the homeless thing really, really gets me
I
down.
do speak to some people, and they kind of quite like being on their own
Yeah,
and and you almost take the fire out of it.
yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
quite nice to have a day on my own.
Hmm.
For many years, I just drank through Christmas.
Yeah,
Like I fucking drank and drank and drank. Like I used to work when I worked in kitchens and then in Costco. Like I pretty much have Christmas Day off.
Hmm.
Probably be working Boxing Day. Um, so Christmas Eve, like when I had my flat, I used to invite people around and go, let's just fucking drink.
yeah.
Get up, still drunk, go somewhere, drink more, and drink more and more and more, and then go back to my flat and then say, everyone, do you want to come round mine?
Yeah.
And just get really fucking bollocksed. And that's how I dealt with it probably for about 6 or 7 years.
Again, though, like the drink is like a tradition thing. I remember going shopping and thinking, right, I've got to have this, got to have Baileys, got to have like
Yeah.
port or whatever, got to have this and that and everything else. Whereas you ain't got to have none of that. It's bullshit.
No.
But like we'd start the day with like Bucks Fizz because technically it's got orange juice in it and you can drink that at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then like Baileys because it's sort of chocolatey and chocolate's to do with Christmas. I'll have that about 10, 11 o'clock.
See, I still don't really drink until like 8 or 9 once the evening comes. I won't really drink until everyone's gone, really.
I don't think I will this year. I've really gone off drink, to be honest, lately. But I'm enjoying it more when I do have it, which is good because I'm not having it every day, which is nice.
I'm always kind of quite pleased for my years and years of properly abusing booze that I can still drink and still really enjoy it. And I don't, and I didn't get to the point where I cannot drink because I'm addicted. So I'm quite pleased that it panned out that way. It's a weird one. I'm starting to feel a bit better about it already, just for talking about it though.
That's what helps, mate, isn't it? Talking.
Yeah, it does. I've noticed, like recently, I've become a lot quieter. Maybe not if I'm out, but generally become a lot quieter. I'm not really talking that much at work, and I've just generally become quieter. And I think sometimes and then that makes me dislike my situations. So it makes me dislike work. When really, if I'm just chatty, I'm happier.
What, do you feel like you have to be chatty to be happy then?
I think I probably do. Yeah, I think I probably do.
See, I worked really hard on being as quiet as possible so I can listen more. Because I feel like I can learn more. But that makes for a shit Christmas party if I'm just sat.
There's got a bit of balance in there. And also you shouldn't be like I don't feel I suppose that's the other part of it, is that I don't any longer feel like I need to be anyone but who I am. So if I don't feel like talking, I don't talk.
No, it's good.
But in essence, I think really I should be talking more because it actually pulls me out myself a little bit.
Oh, talking about like how you feel and stuff like that, definitely, yeah.
Sometimes just generally chit chat. I've been a bit upset about the stuff to do with like our mutual friend. Like, that's put me on a bit of a downer.
Yeah, that gets sorted out though. A couple of beers, that'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it will, but I've got a gig coming up.
Oh, that's good.
Next week. Yeah, next week.
Whereabouts, mate?
Traitors Gate. Oh, it would have been and gone by the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one?
That's a charity one.
Yeah.
Well. For
someone asked me to go to that.
Food bank.
Lee, Natan, I think's playing, and Paul Woolley as well. I love Paul.
No.
Is he not? I thought he was playing.
No, it's my band or our band. Whenever I say my band, my wife always tells me off because she says it sounds a bit like fucking conceited, and I'm like, well, it's not really my band.
Well, it's not my band, so it can only be your band because it's only me and you in the room.
Yeah, another band called Penance-Ville are really good. Natan's band, Sabiba.
That's it, yeah.
It's kind of more of a metal band called Fortify, and they're all like fucking amazingly good on guitars and shit.
Quality.
Make me look really shit. Penance-Ville, like Russ, the guy I'm friends with, is amazing on guitar. Oh, the other day, I checked in on one of our one of our listeners and old friend Andy, and I went to see him a while ago, and he'd been really struggling, and kind of getting the impression that there might be like some quite significant mental health problems going on, but he wasn't really addressing it. And I got in touch with him the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I'm sorting it out. I'm on it.
Ah,
I'm
that's
dealing
cool.
with it." That made me really happy. And my friend, another friend I had, who was going through a hard time, and it's really hard because I don't want to name them really.
Yeah, I've got one to talk about as well.
Yeah, but someone else got in touch with me who was having a hard time, and he, like, I kind of try and check in on him once in a while because I think sometimes, like, unless you know, it can be a bit annoying if you keep going, "Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you all right?" But yeah, he'd got in touch with a load of other friends, who like mutual friends, and we went out for a beer, and they were all talking about our podcast.
Amazing, that's so cool.
And because the conversation came from our podcast, they then all spent a lot of the evening talking about their feelings.
That's so good.
And he was like, "It's all thanks to
What
you,
a cool
man. Thank
thing.
you."
That's
And I'm like,
amazing,
"No,
isn't it?
thank you, because you
Yeah.
just made me really happy."
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if that's happening to you and you're listening, like, let us know, because that gives us such a rush.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, there's a couple of my Twitter friends who've like followed me out for Manliness and everything else. One of them, like, they messaged quite a bit, and I sort of catch up with messages when I can. And he was like, "Oh, I'm getting divorced," and I was like, "Oh man, like, sorry to hear that." He said, "No, it's amicable and it needed to happen. Neither of us knew it needed to happen until we started talking about it, thanks to listening to the podcast." I was like,
really?
"You can't blame me for divorce." And he was like, "No, like it's all amicable and stuff like that." And it's like, yeah, it's basically meant to happen.
through it.
Yeah, and it's difficult because for me, it's such a loaded thing, because I think, oh, it's the breaking up of something. It's something that I've kind of actively tried not to do. But if it's supposed to happen, then it's supposed to happen. And like a lot of great relationships come from like blended families and stuff like that. So it's
And a lot of
positive.
great relationships happen on the next person you meet. You know, like, it doesn't, just because you got married then, it doesn't mean that
It was the right thing to do.
yeah, or it was the right thing then.
No.
You know, like, I just think more and more, like, the world moves on, which kind of makes so many things irrelevant.
It does.
So many things you stress about and you worry about.
Yeah.
Like, in the next year, they didn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, well, there's something really freeing in that. You can
There
just
is.
go, it just doesn't fucking matter. You know, almost like, don't worry about it.
And I think it'd be different if, like, we got an opportunity to go through every single person on the planet and definitively know that this was the definite right person for me and everything else, because you never know. Like, by chance, you know, you've both got pissed at some club night and now all of a sudden you've got 2 kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it was the right thing to kind of do. It's crazy,
I just think
really.
there's been a lot of people I've met over the last few years who have, like, they've got pissed in some club night, hit it off. They had sex irresponsibly.
Went in the bum.
Yeah. No, if they had it in the bum, they probably wouldn't be pregnant.
That's true.
And then they end up with kids. And they're like, you know, well, we've got to do the right thing now. And then, you know, their relationships, they were never particularly compatible.
No.
But even if you were compatible when you were like 30, doesn't mean you're going to be compatible when you're 40.
100%. People change every day.
Yeah, exactly. And it means, and like, along that way, you know, you've both been through quite a bit of a journey, and that changes you. You know, I just think about, like, fucking journey me and my wife had over the last, even just 10 years. You know, like, her having cancer, Jude having autism, you know, her dad dying, her mum having cancer, and like that kind of stuff. Like, I've known other people who've been through similar things and their relationships have not coped.
Yeah.
Because you change so much from going through so much shit like that, that it just changes you as a person. You're like, well, this person doesn't meet my needs. So in many ways, like, I feel like me and my missus, we probably get on better than ever, really.
Yeah.
I'm
Get
still, like,
stronger
really
through
loving
adversity.
and caring and shit. So I feel really lucky for that. So it's nice when you said earlier about thanking your wives, because I think, yeah, they probably put up with a lot of shit with us.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, my wife's quite often like, "I'm worried about you, are you alright?" And I'm like, I can only compare it to when I was fucking, like when I was dirt, and I'm
Yeah.
not that. So I'm doing alright.
Yeah, it's difficult. But the thing is, there's no, like, context, is there? Like, it's different every day.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I've had, like, maybe really good 4 weeks, but even, like, days within that, I've been, like, really, really down still. And it's like, oh, what's going on? But 9 times out of 10, it's because I've had, like, 11 coffees or something like that. And fucking...
I tell you, like, one of the big things that I've learned, I feel like I've learned everything over the last year, but in fairness, I've learned everything over the last 40. But, like, a realisation that you can still have shit days. You can still have days when you're low. Like, I very rarely now have, like, a week when I'm low. I might have 4 or 5 days, but I don't have a week, when I used to have years when I was low. And the truth is it's okay to have a few shit days.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, you know, if mostly you're having good days, then you're kind of winning.
Yeah.
I know, like, sometimes like that in itself can sound a bit sad, because it's like, you know, surely you should be happy all the time, but we're just not.
Now, that assumption is probably, like, as big a killer as anything else.
Yeah, we're not.
And, like, the assumption that people with money are okay, or, like, famous people are okay and stuff like that. It's not the case.
It's funny you say that. I was discussing this today with some younger guy, and my mate Mark, he said, right, this is something Nick told me, that the Jim Carrey thing, when Jim Carrey said everyone should be rich and famous for like 15 days, to see that it's not the answer.
It means shit.
It means fucking nothing. And it's like, and the kids going, but I'd love to have a Lamborghini. And it's like, yeah, you'd love to have a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
But you'd probably be just as happy with a nice. At the moment, you haven't got nothing.
No.
So anything's good.
Yeah, Lamborghini's great until you get a puncture, and it's like $2,000 per tyre.
I know.
And then someone in Audi scrapes down the side of it with their shopping trolley, and you've then got to pay 50 grand to get it re-sprayed or
But he was
whatever.
saying he like really wanted to be like a rapper, and I was saying, then you fucking be a rapper.
Yeah, just go and rap.
But what I was saying was, I said, you know, when I was in my 20s, I toured with a band, and it was like everything I ever wanted to do. But like, that was also some of my saddest times. And I said, and that quite often I just wanted to go home. Just wanted my mum and shit, you know. I just wanted to go home and be in my own bed, and be in my own space.
Well, you said a few episodes ago about Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to be Dave Grohl. You know, they've got their own heroes or whatever, but he must have days where he wakes up and goes, oh, fuck, go and sing this song again.
I just want to go home today.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, well, you can't go home for at least 3 months, because touring is like normally 6 month cycles. And it's like, no, you can't. And it's like, I was watching something. See this. So I never really got the 1975, the band. Is that right? It's 1975, right? And I didn't get it. And then obviously I've become quite good friends with Eddie Temple Morris, like over the last, probably only a few months, but we've become quite good friends.
He's a fan, isn't he?
He was going on about how he didn't get it, then he listened to their last album. And I watched the interview he did with Matt, the singer. And I was just like, I still don't get it. They're really shit. Can't even hear the vocals. And I remember, like, the first time I heard the verse, I couldn't hear the vocals. Now I can. And then he was going, like, Eddie was just going, I didn't get it, but I listened to the album and I nearly cried when it ended.
Amazing.
And I was just thinking, if Eddie likes it, I probably will like it, because I think we're pretty similar. So I went and listened to it, and I was gulping back tears.
I think sometimes when someone gives you the gift of an album, it sounds 100 times better. Like, you gave me Nuclear, Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
And I'd not heard much of Ryan Adams before, and someone that I'd got round. But that whole album front to back I love, because I feel like it's a gift from you to me kind of thing.
I think, like, I was gifted the Smashing Pumpkins, and they're still one of my favourite bands. But So the reason I said it anyway is if you're old like me and you think fuck that band, they're shit. Seriously, that album's really amazing.
Yeah.
It goes into the realms of like Pet Sounds and like Flaming Lips and things at points, and like, it's got all the horrible kind of vocoder stuff on it, but it works. Some of it is really quite special.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Anyway, so the singer like became a heroin addict, which I always think you're too young to be a heroin addict. You know, like, it's still knee high. And then he went into recovery and everything. But I saw a few other interviews and I loved the way he talked about it. He's just brutally honest about it. And he was like, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot, you know. But he said, like, when the gig ends, and I totally can relate to this, is the gig ends, everyone fucking wants to know you. But in your head, you're still a cunt. And then you go back to your room, but you're buzzing because you played the gig.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're still a cunt. And you're like, I'm never going to get to sleep. I'm never going to be able to do any of this shit. And then I'm going to have to get up at fucking like 5 o'clock to travel to the next gig.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't sleep in the van because Stu will have a go at me. You know, like, he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And like, you could see how the allure of heroin would knock you out.
Yeah, of course.
And I used to do it with booze. I used to like drink really heavily post gig. Like really fucking heavily to knock me out to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get it. I can completely understand it.
Yeah, I can sympathise with that.
And it's like, why am I self-loathing? I've just had this amazing experience, but I hate myself as well. But now, funnily enough, it's like I don't quite enjoy experiences. I think that's why, like, holiday, I struggle, because it's like you're meant to have an experience every day for 2 weeks or 10 days. Whereas, like, stuff we've done off the back of the podcast, they've been like, sometimes just like half a day, a little experience.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of think like that's how I enjoy experiences best.
Yeah.
Because it's like a day out of life.
Yeah.
For a moment, to do something that feels special.
Yeah, no time.
No time.
Wow.
No time.
Exactly on the bell.
Yeah.
But yeah, no time, you're not worried about the time on a date or where you're going or whatever.
There's not too much thinking about it.
I agree with that.
Let's see what happens.
I get that a little bit from Christmas sometimes, but then obviously you've got the other pressures of everything else. But yeah. I totally get it, mate.
That was a good chat about Christmas, wasn't it?
That was lovely. And it's not quite Christmas yet. But yeah, don't get yourself down. If you are getting down, give us a shout.
Yeah, give us a shout. I'd really like to hear more from other people. Like, kind of get in touch with us. Tell us what you think. Share your stories with us so we can kind of talk about them here.
And if you're struggling for Christmas presents, www.mouthofmanliness.com and loveless.com and legallyassertive.com, or just drop us a message and say, I'm struggling for Christmas presents.
T-shirt.
And we'll send you loads of different links so you can buy more T-shirts. Because if we had them printed out here, we would have given to them all for free. And we'd be running at a loss. So we've made a really sensible business move, and they are print to order. So buy some.
Yeah, it's sensible. Well, listen, don't take it all too seriously.
No, have a good time.
Yeah, don't over-invest in traditions. Just do your own thing.
Don't take any shit off of anyone else.
Yeah, or just sit quietly.
Yes.
Because sometimes if you rupture, it's a really horrible time to cause a problem.
It is.
Then you've created this horrible tradition. Sit quietly.
Smile and nod.
Yeah. It's only a day.
Have a nice mince pie.
Yeah. I don't like mince pie.
Don't have mince pie then.
We sound like a pair of fucking married old couple. Right, respect everyone.
Much love.
Take care.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New. It's not. We've got like 3 weeks yet, but yeah, okay. Happy New Year and Christmas and whatever.